Hey now, friends, this is me, Lola.
This is Dante.
And you are listening to
The
The
Smoke and
Profit. So today we want to come on very quickly and share something with you that's on our minds.
Yeah.
It's definitely close to my heart because it's something that I have to deal with on a daily basis, on an ongoing basis, and it's something that's very relevant to me right now.
It's also very real.
Right. I'm having to make some big, tough decisions and figuring some things out.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're excited to be talking to you. Do me a favor as you're coming on, let me know if you can see me okay.
Yes, and if you can hear us, just to make sure that everything sounds good.
Right. Let us know, comment, let us know what's happening, and then if something's off, we'll probably like turn this off and start all the way over. So please let us know as you're coming in that you can see us and that you can hear us. Do you mind swiping down and putting my phone on do not disturb?
Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right, perfect. Okay, so you want to get started? You want me to get started? First of all, I'm just a little bit sleepy.
Really?
Yes, it's from those long nighters. Do you mind putting that in your pocket? Because I don't want to lose it. It's a charger for the iPad.
I got you.
Yeah, so I'm definitely tired. And no, we're not on here to talk about like any love stuff. So if you were coming on and you saw both of our faces and you're like, oh, they're together, it's going to be about love. No, it's not going to be about love today. Not at all. Today, we want to talk about why things aren't working out as you want. We want to give you a few points that we feel like stop us from embracing things that we need to.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it stops us from getting the results that we're looking for. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely.
So what do you want to?
What I want to talk about?
Mm-hmm.
All right. My first point, since we're going into it, is flexibility and adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the biggest things that...
So we have someone that's here saying, here to listen, learn, and leap forward. I like that.
Awesome.
We unfortunately can't see your name, so but we'll be able to see it after the broadcast is over. Thank you for letting us know what you're here for.
Yes.
And thanks for being on. If you all can't hear us or anything is weird with the connection, please just let us know. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, babe. All right. So my first thought is flexibility. So when things aren't working out right, one of the biggest things, I'm not even going to say one of the biggest things, something I thought about was how much of this is working to your plan. So everyone has a plan in mind. They have an idea of what they want to happen, how it's going to happen. And some people want it to go perfectly. Like it has to go just like that. The problem with that is nothing ever really goes perfectly. Nothing is going to go exactly as you plan. And because of that, it can stop you. It can keep you paused. You could be stuck waiting on this opportunity when you don't realize that. Use that adaptability. Adapt and say, this isn't working out the way I want it to. So what can I do right now to adapt and change it and create another opportunity for this to work in my favor? Mm-hmm. So I think that's one of the first ones I thought about.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. So you're saying that when things aren't working out the way we want them to, sometimes it's a matter of us not being flexible.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see that. So this happened last year with one of our channels, our YouTube channel.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to get consistent with our YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be working on that. I'm going to do what I need to do over there. So I started working on YouTube and I started letting go of what I was doing because of my personality. You know me, that I'm just very, very different and simple at the same time.
Correct.
I'm different, borderline, I ain't gonna say that other word, and simple at the same time. So I like things to be clean, plain. Like I don't like a lot of stimulation at all. Like I don't like a lot of stimulation as far as noise, images on screens. I don't like, no, like I'll be perfectly fine sitting in a quiet place.
Oh yeah.
All day long. I remember when I had the middle baby.
Yeah.
And my aunt, she came in my house and she's like, it's too quiet in here. She's like, you need to drop some pots and pans and turn music up just to make sure your kid will be able to sleep at other people's houses because your house is way too quiet. Like it's like a library in here, but I just don't like a lot of stimulation. But that wasn't working for me on. Why are you laughing?
This is the first time I heard that story. So
I don't. You know that? You know that when we first when we first met, like I wasn't even watching TV.
You weren't.
I didn't have a TV, and
you didn't, like you did not use it at all. It was... No,
the TV. Did I even have a TV in my room?
Yep, you had a little baby TV.
Because I didn't need it. Like you calling it a baby? Like
it was a baby TV.
I don't. That's just because you're like, I don't know why you prioritize big screens and all of that. But anyways, we've gone off way too far.
Yeah.
So my point is this, like as I'm on my YouTube journey, I'm not wanting to be flexible because I'm like, that is not who I am. Mm-hmm. All of those weird looking thumbnails and just images that don't necessarily make sense, but they pull you in emotionally and they convey these striking emotions. You notice how I use the word striking, that pulled y'all in. But anyways, so they use all of these striking emotions and they're pulling you in and it works. And so I started adapting to the trend over there. And when I started adapting to the trend, then I noticed that our viewership changed, our engagement started going up, and then now my content is going out more. It's being promoted more in the algorithms, and now our follower count is going up. And we're on our way to where we need to be because I have a goal for that.
Yeah.
But my point in saying all of that is I didn't want to be flexible at first. And because I had a plan in mind, like you said, we had this idea in mind. Like, okay, I'm going to do this and it's going to get done. And this is my plan for how it's getting done. But then it wasn't working. Okay. And so then I'm like, I don't want to do what I need to do. And I didn't want to be flexible. Yeah. But then I also added another element in there where I was just resisting what I knew would work.
Definitely.
So there's a side of when things aren't working out for us the way we want, where, we're not being flexible.
Yeah.
And we're not being flexible and just open to like, okay, well, this is my plan, but it could come another way. And then there's another part of that where we are just resisting something that we know will work. Yeah. And that's what I was doing. I was like, I ain't doing them little ugly thumbnails. Have my face on there like Home Alone. I was like, I'm not doing that. But then I ended up doing it and it worked.
Yeah.
So that's our second point. Sometimes when things don't work out for you, it's because you're resisting something that you need to do. And you need to do it. Yeah. And it's like, man, you may not want to do it for whatever reason, but if you stop resisting it, then something beautiful could happen. And now you're moving on along and you're not dealing with the discouragement of feeling like, dang, I had this idea and this plan and it's just not working out,
Yeah. And because you stop resisting, the plan is actually working now. And you're starting to get the things that you wanted to get, the things that you were hoping for, the things that you originally said, this is what I'm planning for. It's starting to happen because you're not resisting anymore.
Right. And that's part of the reason why I'm on here broadcasting and doing a live today. I really don't want to do a live, but I'm doing a live because I know that live broadcasts are a great way to build community and engage with your community because it gives people an opportunity to talk back to you. So this is something that I was like, okay, I got to stop resisting. When I first started with my blog, thesmokingprofit.com, which is now our thing, streaming had really just taken off. And I started streaming and that's how I built my community. And then I'm like, I just stopped streaming because I just didn't want to. What? Sometimes you just got to be honest, right?
Yeah,
so now I'm on here today streaming and I'm going to start streaming more because I got to stop resisting these things that I know I need to do. So we've gone over 2 points already. So why things aren't working out for you the way you want.
Yeah.
One, it can just be that you're not being flexible and flexible with the unknown and flexible with things that you don't know and just being open to a plan unfolding that you didn't necessarily think of, but that leads you where you want to go. That's one side of it. And then the second side of it is that you're just outright resisting what you know you need to do. You're resisting something that you believe could work. And like for me, I was just resisting it because it didn't mesh with my personality. I'm like, this is not who I am, you know?
Yep.
And that's part of the reason why sometimes I don't want to come on and stream, because I'm like, I would rather just sit up and be quiet somewhere.
She really would.
Yeah,
Lola
I would just
not lying at all.
I would just rather sit up and just be quiet and just be thinking and in my head, and then talk to my husband and be like, hey, I was thinking about this. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll record a podcast. And then that's it. Okay, so let's move on to the next one.
All right.
Here is the next thing, which I really, 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 really like. This is something that stops us that I don't think that we're completely aware of. Or I don't think we necessarily say, oh, this could be what's stopping me. It's not the first thing that comes to mind. You're full.
Oh, okay.
And when I say you're full, I mean that you've consumed information, you've been learning, you've been gathering, you've been doing, but you're not really putting what you've learned into practice for yourself. You're not doing it for yourself, you know. You're just consuming, just gathering. And it's not going anywhere. Well, what happens with stuff that we just gather and never use? Eventually it goes to waste, right?
Yeah.
Eventually it expires.
It does.
I mean, I can bring food in this house, but if we don't eat it, that food is going to go bad. And it's the same thing with what you're doing when you're just gathering information and just pulling from here and pulling from there and just learning and getting and doing, but never applying it to your life and what you want. It's like you're not going to get the results you want because you're not doing what you need to do. So what stops us from applying what we've learned, applying what we know, applying what we are beginning to learn? What stops us?
That's a good question.
Insecurity.
Oh, yeah.
Insecurity stops us sometimes, right?
Fear.
Yeah. It stops us. And I was thinking, I said, there are entire companies that, first of all, many companies play on people's insecurities.
That's true.
Marketing. But there are entire companies that are selling products to people because they know they're insecure. They know they're insecure. And it's not just a beauty product, and within that industry, it can be within education.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're like, I know this person is insecure, so I'm going to sell them all these certifications. I'm going to give them all this training. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you're ready. You're full, but it's going to waste because you're not applying it.
Yes.
So we're getting off of here. We wanted to come on really quickly. We actually have something that we have to do. This was just a really quick break. But you want to recap the points or no?
Yeah, I can recap the points. So the start of this was...
Nope, no, because we didn't go in order.
I was just looking for the title just to make sure.
Okay.
So wait, nice. Can I see it? Since we let me recap, yeah. All right, so we were talking about why things aren't working out as you want. And we had 3 major points. The first point was flexibility. So are you following a certain path and you're only sticking to that path, or are you adapting? Are you changing? Are you using other opportunities to make the thing that you want work? Yeah.
And see, even as you're bringing that up, I'm thinking about like jobs.
Yeah.
And how there are jobs, and we came on last year sometime, and I'm like, the rug is being pulled out from under some of you all, and you don't even know it. Some of you all at your jobs, and you don't even know it. They're reorganizing things. They're
automating.
They're automating. They're changing how they're going to allocate funds so that they can pay for automation. That means that certain jobs they won't need anymore.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, so many things are shifting. It's like, pay attention. You know, look at your company's earnings. Look at what they're doing every quarter. Even if they don't tell you, like, we're in bad shape. If you start seeing them numbers going in the red, that lets you know that company is going to be trying to figure out something to keep their books good, to keep their name good on paper, to keep themselves in the right standing. And that thing that they may do could be getting rid of your job. But my whole point is like, you know, we don't want to be flexible. The moment we decide that we are just going to resist what is happening, like your life is over.
Yeah.
Your life is over. It is. Your life is over. I was talking to my niece recently and I was like, okay, let's start talking about school and education and if it's going to be certification or if it's going to be going off to a university, what's going to be blah, 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 all of that stuff. Let's talk about these things. And then I'm like, I love you, but I don't want you to go into this type of major.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need for you to look at STEM. I need for you to look at technology. It's going to offer you the flexibility you want. It's going to offer you the income you want, the salary you want, and you'll just have flexibility. Because the way y'all kids look at people on the internet, you think that we don't even have real jobs and that you can just do that. I said, so if you want to be in a position where, you know, you can make some money and to be flexible and no flexing online, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you better go into some technology, girl, like, and not that other stuff, because that's going to have you somewhere else. And I was talking to her about that, and I was like, I said, you see what's happening with prices? You see them creeping up? I said, prices have been going up for a long time, but something that's not going up as quickly, although it should be.
It really should.
Is the living wage. It's the wages. They're not going up. I said, so what's happening is there's this spectrum from poverty to wealth. And there was this big place in between, middle class.
Yes.
You know, middle class. And I said, it's been dwindling.
It has.
I said, it's going to keep getting smaller.
It is.
I said, and if you choose the wrong work opportunity, if you're not flexible, you know, if you're just stuck on, hey, I want to do this, what you want to do may not fit the future.
Yeah.
It may not fit the future. And then as a result, you're left out. So as you were talking about flexibility, I thought about that. And I thought about this article that I saw a few weeks ago about WF. I hate to call out company names on here. WF saying that in the next 10 years, they're going to get rid of so many jobs due to automation. Let me see if I can find it as you continue to recap.
All right. And now Lola talked about it, but our second point was resistance. So if you are fighting
what you know you should be doing,
exactly, that is a problem, because you know resistance is going to keep you stuck. It's not going to change. I mean, the way that everything is happening.
What's not going to change?
I'm sorry. Thank you, babe, for letting me be clear. You resisting is not going to change your situation. It's not going to help you. You know that things are changing, things are happening, things that, you know, are adapting and going faster. And if you keep stuck resisting the change that's happening, you will be, truthfully, you'll be out of luck.
Now, here's the article that I was talking about. Okay. So developers are the new bankers, developers, technology. Wells Fargo analysts predict wave of job cuts. Banks may eliminate 100,000 jobs over 5 years. Compensation costs may not decline as quickly as headcount. And that's just like the talking points from the article. But it's like things are changing. You just can't resist. You're wondering why things aren't working out the way you want to. Like you're not being flexible. Okay. You're not being flexible with the plan. And then on top of that, there's something that you know you should be doing that you're just all out resisting.
Fighting it.
You know, you're like, oh man, I'm gonna stay in this job, even though you see that the job is changing more and more. You see more and more that your company is beginning to get rid of different things. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And you're just sitting there and you're just sitting there and you're just sitting there. And then what was the last thing? The last thing is that you're just plain out full. You're full. You've consumed, you've gathered, and really now it's time for you to just start trying things. And you cannot allow your insecurity to stop you. Like, oh my gosh, well, what if it goes wrong? What if it goes wrong? What if this happened? Well, what if it goes right? And truth be told, there are things that you're only going to learn when you get your hands in the field. This is why doctors have labs. This is why scientists have labs. This is why teachers have labs, you know, so you can get your hands involved into the thing that you're trying to do and see what works and see what doesn't. And then as you're seeing what doesn't work, don't let it beat you up. It just points you in the right direction, the direction that you need to go. Okay, we got to get off of here. I'm Lola. I'm with the Smoking Prophet. Gianna, get back in the camera.
And I'm Dante. We want to thank you all for listening.
Yeah, super thanks for listening. Do us a favor. Make sure you share this with someone. Let them know how this message helped you. And do us a favor. If this message helped you, if you got something from it, drop a comment and let us know how it helped you. In the meantime, what are we doing? Oh, we just had a podcast that came out yesterday, and I don't feel like going all into the details of that now because we really got to go. So I'm gonna tell you about that later. Do the spill because I can't do it. We gotta go. Until next time, have the most amazing life. Bye.